Hey, you guys, it looks like I'm coming on early today. So sorry about this. I've got nothing set up. So you guys get to hang out with me while I set up. Here we go. Ta-da. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop this for now. Oh my goodness, how did I hit go live? All right, well, we're here. I guess we're 10 minutes early. Hey, John, good to see you. We are super early today because I accidentally hit the go live button. So here we are. So, you get to hang out with me while I set up. Yeah, how about that? And hopefully you guys will all be hopping on. I'm glad you think you're able to laugh with me. I think this is funny and you know what? This is probably like my signature. Every time I do a live stream, right? I just get myself into something. I don't know. So crazy. Hi, Sophia. Good to see you. Okay, I'm still setting up, you guys. So let me grab a few things. You get to hang out with me while oops, turn this little guy around. There we go. And a little bit of that for you. Ta-da! All right, you guys. I think we're just about set. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I am like the queen of, what is it, anti-technology. So sorry about that. And it doesn't even take a lot of technology. I just hit the wrong buttons at the wrong time. All right. Thank you for saying no stress. I appreciate that. Oh, I think that is my picture a little fuzzy. All right, let me be right back. Let me get something. So hopefully, let me see if I can do this. Sorry for this part of it. Alrighty. Did I even clean that earlier? Okay, that's a little better. All right. So I'm gonna, boy, we are really early today, aren't we? Oh, we've got 5 more minutes for other people to hop on. But in the meantime, let's cover our happies and crappies. Yeah, let's do that. I want to let you know that a happy for me is, well, okay, wait a minute. Well, there are so many more happies than there are crappies. So that's a good thing, right? So one of the happies is I started mountain biking. Woohoo! So yeah, that's really exciting. And this weekend I'm going on oh my gosh, I think it's 42 miles. No, it's got to be more than that. It's 50, about 50 miles, which is insane, right? That is not a beginner thing. So I'm a little bit nervous about it because I've only gone on one bike ride and it was this week. It was for 14 miles and it was fun. It was a really, really good time. I enjoyed myself more than I thought I would. I really enjoyed the scenery, just getting out, it's so good. So that was my happy, picking up a new hobby and going into that. I have some friends from a long time ago, actually, who got into mountain biking, and one of them married a guy who's like a total savant of bicycles. He's just incredible, incredible. So he's helping me find a bike. So that's another incredible happy for me because I have no idea what to look for in a bike other than steering wheel and tires, Anyway, so that's my happy, picking up a new hobby. I hope that this inspires you to do the same type of thing. Hey, C. Thomas, good to see you. And Victoria, good morning. Yeah, so, I hope that my happy inspires you to, go out and do something new. And also, actually, here's a really good thing. Going back and reconnecting with really, with I don't want to say really old friends, but friends from a long time ago. I mean, this friend I met, I want to say over 10 years ago. And we've run into each other occasionally over the 10 years. We were in the same neighborhood, she no longer lives in our neighborhood, so I really don't see her much, but we see each other, because of Facebook once in a while and have reconnected a couple of times. So now we're getting into mountain biking together and well, she's into it. She's been doing it for at least, I think, 8 years now. But it's really amazing the connection you have from even so long ago. The friendship, the attraction you had towards each other because of the same energy. I go back to, I don't know if you guys ever watched this, but the Cesar Chavez, the dog whisperer, right? He would talk about how certain dogs have, they get along really well. And the one, they get along because of their energies. Yeah, so it's interesting. Ones, if they're hyper, other hyper dogs tend to like that. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going off track, trying to allow you guys to hop on a little bit here. So yeah, that was my happy. And how about you guys? What's been going on in your week, and what's been good and what's been bad? I want to hear some I don't know. I want to hear well, I want to hear everything. But I want to hear if you are inspired to do anything different, or if you found something new about yourself, or met anyone new. Yeah, just stuff like that. My crappy actually kind of happened this morning. I don't know what it is. I think I just have to laugh at myself a lot because life does not always go the way you planned, right? As I was getting ready, I was getting some food out for my pet, for my dog. And I thought, oh, I'm going to take this outside because it was kind of messy. This food that I was giving him today was mixed in with some a porridge that I had made for him. So anyway, so I thought, oh, he's going to get it all over the kitchen floor, so I'm going to take it outside. So of course, I pick up the bowl to take it outside because I was afraid he was going to make a mess. And guess what? I knocked the bowl against something else and it spilled everywhere. I mean, I lost complete control of the bowl. It flipped out of my hands, went upside down, and of course, all over the kitchen. The exact thing that I was trying to avoid. In fact, it was worse than the exact thing I was trying to avoid because my dog probably would have made a little bit of a mess eating it, whereas I just dumped the whole freaking bowl all over the kitchen. So, yeah, things like that used to ruin my day. And I used to just feel defeated right away, especially if it happens first thing in the morning, you guys, right? But I'm really happy to report that now I kind of look at it and go, okay, well, I guess I got to clean this up. Something that should have taken about 5 seconds, right? 5 to 10 seconds to move outside. Took me 5 full minutes to clean up. But it doesn't sound so bad, right? 5 full minutes, but it was more time than I expected to be doing that. Let me see, you guys, how things are going. Okay, see, Thomas says, my happy is going back to school. What? After many years, finally registered this week. All right, I applaud you. That is awesome. Excellent, excellent. Oh, you know what? And that's going to kind of tie in, by the way, to today's topic, which is, what is our new normal now? Why, when we come out of this narcissistic crazy town, where we want to just be normal again, right? We just want to feel whole again. We want to know who we are. We've lost ourselves. And part of that will come out to figuring out, what is this life now? And can it be normal again? And if it can be normal, what does that normal look like, right? So let me see. So going back to school, excellent, excellent. Very happy for you. Tiff says, oh, hi, Tiff. Good to see you. I don't know. It was 3 a.m. I'm just getting into bed. Oh, I didn't know it was 3 a.m. Oh, hey, I'm so glad you're here, though. Oh, I hope you get some rest. But I am so glad that you're here to join us. John says, are they truly happy if they contact you once every few weeks? Oh, no. Oh, no. They are absolutely not happy at all. And the reason they're contacting you is not because they hope for a healthy, whole, respectful, kind relationship with you. They're hoping that you will supply them with whatever they're depleted of. right? Whatever they now are lacking with their current supply, or if they have no supply. And I know in your case, you were saying, John, that she is with somebody right now. And I think you said she was even married to this person, but still contacting you. Absolutely, she is not happy. And can you imagine if she is even telling her current supply that she's contacting you? I'm pretty sure that he has no idea. Jihad, good to see you. And yeah, yep. All right, you guys, let's dive right on in. So, my question today really was, I came from meeting with some different people this week. Last weekend, last weekend I attended an Oktoberfest. So that's another happy. It was really great. And if you have a chance, okay, I did not know that Oktoberfest was pretty much a big drunken party. All right, let's just be real here. But the good thing is, from what I could tell, everybody was just so friendly and so happy and just into cheers and, having a great time and singing and dancing, of course, drinking, lots of food. It was great. It was a really great time. So I would recommend Oktoberfest to people if they want to just go and have a good time. Even just people watch it's awesome. But I would really encourage you to meet people, to say hi, just, even if it's not a long conversation, just laugh with them, dance with them. Oh, we got grabbed into a dance that was going on because they had some polka band playing. It was awesome. It was so good. Yeah, some guy grabbed my husband's arm and swung him around, which was awesome. So that was pretty silly. Hey, RB, good to see you. Sorry, guys, just kind of scrolling here. So glad you guys have joined us. If you have not missed anything, I started early by accident because I hit the go live button as I was trying to put my phone into the stand. Okay, so we are on to our topic. You guys are still welcome to post your comments. I have to grab my cup of tea, actually. Let me go grab that really quick. Alrighty. I am back. Sorry about that. Yeah, the reason I'm not ready is because I hit my go live button 10 minutes early. So sorry about that. I had to go grab my tea. So, yeah, I met some people. And the whole reason I told you about this Oktoberfest is because I did meet two really awesome couples, two young couples. They're so cute. I know they're grown adults, but here I am going, oh, they were so cute. But yeah, I met these two couples during Oktoberfest, and they were sharing some stuff that was going on in their life. And I'm not going to get into too much detail. I'm not going to, I don't know, maybe they're watching, they said they might watch. So, but the thing that came out is really, I think they were in disbelief, right? They were just in disbelief. There are two couples there. One of the couples is had been experiencing that crazy town, that narcissistic crazy town, and I'm not sure that they understood or even now truly understand what's going on in their life in that crazy town. And and right now what's going on is the narcissist, sadly enough, in their group, not the four that I met, the four people I met, but outside of that four, the narcissist or narcissistic people, they are having trouble with, let's say, drama, lots and lots of drama with, have been lying. They have their slew of flying monkeys that they have turned the people from within the group against. this couple or against one in this couple, the woman in the couple. Um, and they're trying to figure out, like, how is this snowballing so out of control? I mean, that's, I think, what I got out of our conversation is that they're trying to figure out how in the world did we get to this point where there's so much contention, there's so much anger or gossip, there's so much bitterness, just maltreatment too, just being treated like they're not wanted anymore, even though they'd been a part of this friend group, I guess, for, I don't know, 4 to 10 years from what I'm understanding, quite a long time. And one of them, or a few of them, I guess, had been friends for maybe 14 years. I mean, this is a long standing friend group, right? They met when they were in middle school or high school or something like that. So, yeah. So the second couple that was part of our conversation was really not able to understand. That, they really wanted to understand. They were trying to be impartial. They were trying to, be open to staying friends. They wanted to keep the peace, they wanted to do what was right, but they also wanted to still fit in or get along with the narcissistic side of the group. And, or I don't even know which person in particular was the narcissist, but there's a lot of gossip going on, a lot of traits that narcissists tend to have. The jealousy, the gossiping, the manipulation, the you have to be on my side and you have to trust me without question type of thing, and the criticalness. Lots of that happening on that side. And so the second couple doesn't realize or didn't realize that they're kind of being pulled into that. And they want to stay neutral. They want to stay impartial. They want to be, they don't have anything against the narcissistic side of the group, but they also don't have anything against the couple now that's being ostracized. So they're not being fully ostracized, but they're not being treated. It's almost like they're on parole, if you will, from the group. We're watching you and we're going to criticize you and we don't trust you and we're going to talk about you and talk and smear you behind your back. And yet you still have to treat us well. That's the whole absolute crazy town. All right, you guys, that kind of leads us into something here, because here are people sitting in front of me trying to make heads or tails out of what was happening. And they're trying, I think the second couple, they're trying to just get things back to normal. Like, can't we just go back to the way things were? Why can't we just be friends? Why can't we just enjoy each other's company and have a good time, just like we have been for 14 years? We've been there for each other through ups and downs. Why can't we just go back to that? And really, the answer is because that was the Crazytown game or life that they were living in with the narcissistic people. Like, the narcissist can survive, I guess, can even grow, and not grow as a person, but they can become strong within a community if they are being fed, right? If they get a foothold in, they gain trust, they gain also time with you. So again, building trust. They gain experiences with the group, again, gaining trust. And in the meantime, though, they are brewing, they are manipulating slightly, they are, so long as everybody is playing by their rules, which is, love the narcissist and get along with the narcissist and excuse the narcissist for times they mess up within the group, they are happy. Now things change. The rules change, though. So this is their crazy town that you don't realize is starting to take over your group or your life. Their crazy town rules become, okay, but now I'm watching you and I see that you are doing things that are making your life better. You're dating someone that I wanted to date, or you're getting this promotion, or you're doing well financially, or you're happy and I'm not happy. You know, they start to get jealous. And once they start to get jealous of someone within the group, they will start to tear apart the group. So the normal that people want to go back to, they hope to go back to, and it could be even if you were dating somebody and now something bad just happened in your life and the narcissist blows up at you and they project, of course, you know, cheating onto you, and you're not cheating, but sad to say, they probably are. Once that all explodes and you think, okay, we got through it, everything is out, can't we just go back to the way things were? Well, here's the deal. No, you can't. There is no normal with them. There never was a normal with them. There was just, I'm biding my time until I can control everything. I am using people so long as they are willing to be used. I am latching myself onto people financially, socially, you know, status wise. I am latching on to improve my situation until it doesn't serve me anymore. That was what was going on behind the scenes in your normal, if you will, relationship with them, until it all just comes crashing down. And when it comes crashing down, let me tell you why it comes, you know, why also you cannot go back. Is because once you realize what rules you had been playing by and you don't accept it anymore, for instance, no more cheating. Okay, now that I caught you cheating, no more cheating. Now that I caught you in this lie, you're going to have to prove to me when you're, you know, other times when I think you're lying, you're going to have to show me that you're not lying. I can't just trust you at your word anymore. Okay. You're not playing by their rules anymore, right? Once you stop playing by their rules, they are going to stop the game, because now it's not the narcissist gets to control everything. Now it's the narcissist has to step up and be a person and be a good person, be responsible, be considerate, be a truthful person, right? And they don't want to play that. That doesn't serve them. So you guys, you cannot go back to what you thought was normal, because underlying what you thought was normal was this weird, bizarre game going on with the narcissist. And I'll give you an example of that. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'll give you an example of that with another friend that I had met with, who actually is an old time friend as well, a friend from years ago. And we're, you know, like I said at the beginning of this, you know, reaching out and reconnecting with people from your past is, or people who've just kind of fallen off of your radar, you know. I'm not saying like go way, way, way back or to places where there was trauma there and you're trying to reconnect with trauma. No, you're going back and reconnecting with people who you got along with. Things were great, but for whatever reason, life circles, you know, kept you guys out of each other's circles. So I met with her and she gave me an insight to, or not an insight, but an example of when your world of normal just isn't what you thought it was. And I'll go into that in just a second. Let me catch up with a few of your comments here. Wow, you guys have some really awesome comments here too. Tiff says, my new normal is just like C. Thomas, school in the cards. This was robbed from me by the ex-narc and his stubbornness, but I'm not angry anymore. I realize that I'm getting faster at rebuilding. I'm proud. Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you, Tiff, for doing that. C. Thomas says, same happened to me. Started, was halfway, then met the exes that took it all away. It took a while to find the motivation. Yes. Oh my gosh. You know what, you guys? Thank you so much for bringing that up. That's another thing is, you know, not just reaching back and going back and reconnecting with people, but going back and reconnecting with your dreams, right? That you put on hold when you met the narcissist. You put a lot of your dreams or hobbies or interests or um, progress you were making in certain areas in your life. You put those things on hold to focus on the narcissist and that relationship with the narcissist. So, yeah. Victoria, good to see you. Says, I'm almost embarrassed to say I don't really know what my new normal is. He and work were a big part of my life. Now that he's gone, it's all been work, but I know I want and need more. Yes. And we're going to help you rebuild that. I hope to give you some ideas about rebuilding that. And I hope that the group here is giving you ideas because they're rebuilding as well. I'm so glad to have you here, Victoria. C. Thomas says, my crappy is an ex hoovers on Messenger, so blocked him. Oh, your ex was hoovering you. Heard he's out of a job. Yep, I ignored it. May want money. In my mind, what's going on with the new supply? Yeah, well, yeah, what's going on with the new supply if you're hoovering, right? Exactly. The narcissist is going to want to reconnect with you when their supply dries up, or what if they're not getting the supply they want or need from their current supply. So Tiff says, my new norm is flying monkeys and stalking, even when I do move on properly. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that's the situation you have to deal with while you're rebuilding. Sadly enough, but we do have to deal with flying monkeys. And this is what I wanted to talk about with the new friends they have. And I don't want to, there are people who are well intentioned within the group. I want to say that they're well intentioned. They just want everybody to get along. They want the whole issue to get resolved. They want people. Oh, here's another thing I want to tell you that came up. They just want to be able to discuss and work it all out. And here's the deal, you guys, and you know this, and I know this, but these young couples are just figuring this out. There's no amount of discussion with a narcissist that will bring logic to the conversation. Let me say that again. There's no amount of discussion with the narcissist that will bring logic to the conversation, because the narcissist is not logical. They will throw in crazy town arguments that will just, you can't even address it because it makes no sense. Okay, let me give you an instance. I don't know how to not get into it too deeply, but when the narcissist requires you to submit to them, but there's nothing you can do to submit, like you being there upsets them within the group. Okay, we're talking about within a group. And so your presence upsets them because they're jealous of you. They've already gossiped about you and smeared you to a few others in the group. So when you walk into the room and they shut up immediately, or they move into another room one by one, okay, that right there is a red flag that they are talking about you. You sense it, you know it, you feel it, but what can you actually do? Then there are other people there who want you to just get along. How are you supposed to get along with that? There's no amount, you can sit down with that group and ask them, are you guys talking about me? No, they're not going to tell you they're talking about you. Are you guys mad at me? No, they're not going to tell you that they're mad at you. They're just trying to ostracize you. And even if the other people in the group are trying to make you submit or get along with, or be, just somehow smooth things over, you can't. There's nothing you can do because that other part of the group is behaving so badly. They have issues they're not going to bring out into the light. And if they're not going to bring their jealousy out into the light, if they're not going to bring the real reasons out into the light, they'll make up reasons, by the way. They'll make up reasons like, well, you're not being friendly. You're the one not making an effort. You're the one who walks away from them, which is, by the way, I have heard these excuses from a narcissist in my life directly from them. And I was just like, wow. this is the way they saw the situation. It was always so skewed. Whatever they were doing, they were projecting onto their victim and saying that's what their victim was doing to them. They're not going to be truthful. They're not going to be, for one reason is because they don't even know what the truth is. They are in such crazy town that they have developed this story in their head of what's really going on, or it's not really going on. What the story they create in their head of what the situation is so false, but it serves their purpose. It goes with their narrative. So that's why you cannot sit down with a narcissist and lay everything out on the table and discuss everything, and you can admit to your faults, and they love that part. They'll eat that up. Yeah, you did say that, and yeah, you did use this tone, and yeah, you weren't very forgiving, and they'll go into all of that, but they will not take responsibility for any of their part. They'll exaggerate yours, and you're just trying to put out an olive branch, right? Extend an olive branch, and they will take that olive branch and they will whip you with it. It's horrible because they'll beat you up. They'll beat you up for even admitting your part of it, right? And then suddenly the focus will be on you and all the things that you need to change in order to submit to them. It's absolute super crazy town. So that's another reason why you cannot just go back to normal. You cannot just fix things with the narcissist. You can't just say, well, we'll sit down and have this all out heart to heart discussion, and I'll admit to my part, I'll apologize for my things, and even beyond my things, I'll give them all this grace, and we'll just be able to work this out. You can't, because the narcissist lives in this crazy world of crazy town rules. All right, you guys. I wanted to tell you guys the other story as well, but let me catch up with some of your comments. C. Thomas says, it's hard to get a new normal when still healing. You have to wait to feel ready. It's just work for me right now. And I took myself to brunch last Sunday. Felt good. Oh, that's so good. You know what? I'm so glad that you pointed that out. Yes, in your time of healing, don't force yourself to feel like you have to be at a certain point, or you should be completely normal. And that's the whole point of this discussion, really, is because people are so desperate to get back to normal that they skip the healing part. They skip that part. And I do want to talk about that today as well. I have several points that I had written out that occurred to me just now, a few minutes before we went live. And I do want to cover that with you. And it does have to do with healing and what is keeping you from getting to that normal, right? You guys sound like you're on it. You guys who are here sound like you are working towards healing and a new normal, which is going to be really wonderful, by the way. That's the good news. You get to dictate what your new normal is going to be. So let me tell you guys about the other thing, why it also can't go back to normal. While you're living in that crazy town, a lot of times you're the only witness to it. Other people are on the periphery. They may be stood up. They may be lied to, on small things. They may, receive a little bit of backlash or tone or anger or whatever from the narcissist, but they are not in the trenches like you were. So they do not understand the absolute crazy town that you were in. So when you come out of that crazy town, when you get to the point where you've been discarded or you did the discarding, those who were watching, your witnesses, if you will, right? Your closest friends, even people you shared information with along the way, will still not quite believe that it was as bad as you now are saying it was, because you probably held back a little bit, right? You didn't want to completely throw the narcissist under the bus. and you took the blame for some of the things that the narcissist was doing because of how you reacted, maybe. So now your witnesses or your close friends are thinking, well, there's still two sides to the story. And they couldn't have been that bad because nobody's that irrational or nobody's that illogical. They don't get it. They don't understand it until they have been played as hard and for as long as you were. Then they will get it. But the friend I was sitting with uh, understood because she was in the trenches practically with the friend who is now away from her narcissist, right? So or divorced, I guess, from her narcissist. So my friend was telling me how she saw it. That is so rare, you guys, that a friend will see at least part of it, right? I mean, obviously she didn't see everything, but she saw enough of it, of his crazy town, that she understands, like partly at least, why it was so maddening, why it was so frustrating for her friend, and why it was so devastating, and how her friend has to do this incredible inner healing now in order to get over it. It's not quite like, okay, yeah, divorce is ugly and we'll get through this, or breakups are ugly, and then you move on after a little bit. It really just tears you down to your core because you don't know what's real and what's fake, and you don't know how to trust yourself. I mean, it just tears you down to that core, where some other relationships don't necessarily do that. You will still have something to cling to. You still will have family or friends or a job. Not to say that if you were with a narcissist, you don't have these things. It's just that a lot of times the narcissist will taint all of your connections, even your work connection, where you just are so destabilized that it affects you, who you are, and what your self-esteem, even at work, your capability. You're not even sure you're capable anymore at work. So you guys, that was the other thing with the um, older friend I was telling you about, her experience, how in that situation she actually was able to be a witness for her friend, which again is so uncommon, so rare, but such a blessing, because now her friend knows, like, has somebody on her side who gets it, who understands it. The younger couple, they don't quite get it yet, right? The second couple, they don't quite believe it yet. They haven't seen it yet. Even though they've been around these people for a long time, they haven't been in those trenches where they were the target of the jealousy, or that they were the target of mainly it's jealousy, which is so sad. But friends who are jealous of friends are not your friend. Okay, if your friend is jealous of you, they are not a friend. They will undermine you and they will destroy you. It is such a huge force of insecure people, and especially of narcissists. All right, you guys, let me see what's going on here, and then I'm going to get to some of these points and put them in order for you, so it's a little more helpful if you want to go back. Let me see. Victoria says, that's a great idea, T. Thomas. You can never go wrong with Sunday brunch. LOL. Tiff says, can't even understand logic in a conversation. Best to get a pet rock. Oh my gosh, right? The narcissist just has no logic. They don't. They like to argue, for one. Second thing is they have to protect their lie. So there's no way they're coming clean if they've been lying. So you have to go around and around in circles in their crazy town lie. Oh my gosh, you guys, okay, I'm going to bring this up in my points in a second. C. Thomas says, yes, Victoria, it was frightening at first. Haven't been out in a while, but was great. Yay! So proud of you, C. Thomas. Tiff says, thinking back, the narcs I encountered in the last year and a half were all blank in the eyes. It was as if I could see into their brain. They were blank at times throughout the conversations. Yeah, they kind of are. And I think part of that is because they're weaving their crazy story, their narration. They're weaving a narrative where they're trying to figure out, how do I insert this narrative into this relationship So they're not really even in your conversation at the time. It's just weird. Their mind's usually somewhere else. Wild Bird says, new normal is better discernment of people. I can now reject yes, toxic people before I gave it the benefit of the doubt. Yes. And welcome, Wild Bird. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Your new normal comes from a maturity, right? From you. You will have healed, you will have grown, you wiser, you will have matured. And so your new normal actually is even better. At first, you might not feel that way. You might feel like, well, I wish I could just trust everybody again. You know what? Yeah, you can still do that. But guess what? You're going to be hurt again, because trusting everybody again just lands you back into the crosshairs of narcissists. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be a target for narcissists, right? Again. So it's actually a good thing that you don't just trust everybody. That's ridiculous. That was really a naive way to live. It may have felt freeing, but it's only freeing until you get caught, right? It's only freeing until you get shot down. Then you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's almost like saying, I wish I wasn't afraid of being burned when I put my hand in a fire. I mean, that's crazy, right? To say, I wish I wouldn't be afraid of fire so much that I could stick my hand in a fire. No, you don't want to stick your hand in a fire. It's going to burn you. It's not going to be good. So that normal that thinking that you had back then was naive. That thinking that you had back then might have been like carefree, but really it was just very dangerous, right? Very dangerous. So it's better where you are now. Yep. Let me see, you guys, some of the comments here. See, Thomas says, yes, they cannot hold a normal conversation. No, they cannot. RB, good to see you. Says, I still miss all the good times. Yeah, right? You think those were the normal good times. I look back at old photos and it feels like another life. I don't like the life we are in now. Family courts have been a nightmare. Hearing his voice on the Skype calls. Oh. I am so sorry for what you're going through right now. You are in the midst of it, and right now it's not normal. It's not the new normal or anything like that, but it is a struggle that you're going to have to get through. It is a growing point. It is a it is a consequence, right, of what has happened with the narcissist. Those good times might have been the things that kept you there for as long as they did. Times with the narcissist aren't going to be all 100% bad, because why would you stay, right? There will be times that were good. There will be times that will seem even extravagant and wonderful. That's what keeps you there, because you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this with somebody else? This is why I stay, because I'm getting this with the narcissist. I'm getting this wonderful, amazing time. Like a photo album, you're going to have to just keep the good memory, grow from that. But there's good news, by the way, and it does come into the normal that I have here. It was okay. Let me just get to my points, because you'll see how it all fits in. Things don't go back to normal because, first of all, it wasn't normal. Okay, it just wasn't normal. Playing by the narcissist rules, living in the narcissist's world, where the narcissist gets to change the rules constantly on you, is not normal, right? That is just not a good normal. Hey, Crystal Jean, good to see you. You guys, oh, this is cool. Things are popping up. Yeah, these are not normal, but you make it a part of your life, and it becomes, I guess, your normal, right? And although it's devolving into absolute crazy town where you just can't survive there. You can't, because you're like banging your head against the wall. You don't understand why things are so crazy. But once you stop playing by their rules, by the way, in that world, in that crazy town, once you catch them cheating, once you catch them lying, once you you no longer tolerate their degradation, right? When they start degrading you, when they start calling you names, and maybe even, I hate to say it, but if they're violent towards you, and you put your foot down and you say, no more, you are not doing this anymore. Once you stop playing by their rules, that normal is over, right? That world, that game is done. They no longer want to play. They no longer even want to have those times that you're thinking about, the good times. They no longer want to take you out. They no longer want to enjoy time with you. They no longer want to go on vacation or go out to dinner or go dancing or whatever it was you used to do, right? Go hiking. They don't want to do it with you anymore because you are no longer playing by their rules where they get to beat you up emotionally and still enjoy their day, you know? So that's, going back to that normal is, it never was normal. That's what you have to face for yourself. It never really was normal. There was an underlying theme, story, narrative, underlying rules that you were not even aware of going on during those times. Yeah. So the second thing that I want to talk about, why you don't go back to normal, is because there were things about you. Okay, this is the hard talk, and if you guys, don't want to hear it, I get it. If you're at a point where you just can't hear negative things about yourself right now, then just imagine this for other people at this point, because you're just not healed enough to hear this, and I get that. But here's what I want you to understand, or at some point, you will want to look at yourself. You want to know, why did you become friends with that narcissist? Or why did you become a lover, right? With that narcissist? Why did you marry that narcissist? Why, right? Did you stay as long as you did with that narcissist? You're going to have to ask this about yourself. And it's not going to be, oh, because they did this and this and this, and they lied, and they love bombed me, and we know they do all those things. But here's the question: why did it work? Why did it work with you, right? There are times that maybe the narcissist just targets you, but a lot of times the narcissist casts their net quite wide to catch 15. They're working on 15 or 20 people, or they're working on 3 or 4 people at the same time. But it takes just one person that they can catch for them to latch onto. All right. So the question is, what is it? And that's the hard question. What is it about me that attracted me to that narcissist? And I want to share with you something here. Often we're attracted to something that we lack in ourselves. So think about that. Was it something that I was lacking in myself that attracted me to this narcissist? Was it confidence? Like maybe I didn't have confidence as much, that confidence in that narcissist was just so attractive to me. It drew me to them, because if that narcissist confidence, I don't have to have confidence. If my partner has something that I lack, then I don't have to develop that in myself. I get to just be around my partner and reap the benefits of their confidence, right? So their confidence is attracting the kinds of people that you want to be around. So you get pulled in. So think about that. What is it about me? Or actually, what is it about me that made me attracted to the narcissist? And again, let me tell you, a lot of times it's something that we are lacking ourselves. And I'll go into a few other things. Financial success. Now, your partner or the narcissist is financially really well off, right? And that's attractive to you, because if you are connected to that, then you don't have to be a financial success. You get to reap the benefits of being with somebody who is financially successful. They can afford to buy the things that makes your life luxurious, right? They can afford to buy the house, the car, the vacations. Now you don't have to work as hard. Not that you don't work as hard, but maybe you don't have the confidence, right? That you could do this, that you can achieve this for yourself. So the things that you are lacking in yourself, right? Your low self-esteem that stands in the way of your financial success. Now you don't have to work on that self-esteem to get the financial success. You can be with your partner. They have financial success. So you don't work on your self-esteem. Another thing is popularity, right? The narcissist may have tons and tons of friends. So that attracts you to them. And you might feel like, wow, for the first time, I'm, doing a lot of social things. We're involved in a lot of social engagements. We're being invited to a lot of parties and dinners and outings. So long as you are connected to that partner, you don't have to work on your own character to draw people in, right? You don't have to be the star. You don't have to um, have have that self-esteem or that confidence or that character to draw people in. You get to just play the supporting role, but still benefit from your partner's popularity. Another thing is being active. That kind of goes along with the popularity, right? Because if they're very active, they're athletic. Actually, maybe or maybe not with the popularity, but say they're very active, they're very physical, and you're not, right? You might be kind of drawn to that, like, oh, we get to go do things together because they are always looking to do things. They're very active in the community. They're always doing volunteer work, or they're doing the 5K color runs, stuff like that. They're always finding out what's going on around town, and so long as you are connected to them, you don't have to do that for yourself. In that, you don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to take the chance. You don't have to show up by yourself and sign up by yourself. You get to just go with them and be a part, right? Part of something. If they're fun loving. Oh, here's another thing. If they're knowledgeable, right? They're educated. They're maybe, you're drawn to that. They're so educated. They're so smart. And you put your own schooling on hold, right? Because you're like, well, I don't need to focus on my education, since, their education is providing and taking us, is it providing things for us that we can, now both benefit from. So and I'm not here, trying to put you down or anything like that. I'm just trying to get you to question yourself. What was it about them that attracted me to them? And some of those things, some of the times, are the things that are lacking in you. If it's self-esteem, you don't have to work on your own self-esteem because they have so much confidence, right? And it's so much fun to be around a confident person because other people are attracted to that. Other people respond well to that. And so you get to be around that. And the reason I bring this up is because these are the changes that you can start to make in yourself. And they're not, they're not unreachable. They're really great. This is the great, wonderful, beautiful, amazing, the new normal for you is going through this healing. And part of this healing is building up that thing that was lacking in you, or several things. It could be several things, right? That were lacking in you when you met the narcissist, that made you vulnerable to the thing, to what attracted you to them. Okay. So if you can find out or figure out what was lacking in you, you might be empowered now, right? You might be excited and motivated now to work on that. Like, oh my gosh, my confidence. Yeah, I got to work on my confidence. What the heck, my financial success. Yeah, I want to go back to school, which, like I was saying to you guys earlier, one of you guys was saying you were going back to school. I think it was C. Thomas and Tiff. Yeah, that's one of those things I think is so great and fits in perfectly with your healing. It fits in perfectly with your maturing, you're growing, you're filling that void that was inside of you back then that didn't get to continue to grow because once you met the narcissist, you put that on hold and you allowed the narcissist's personality to take over your whole relationship, right? And possibly your whole life. So that was part of why things don't go back to normal, because there are things that you have to change about yourself, right? There are things that you have to change about yourself in order for you to continue to grow and heal and find a beautiful, incredible new normal, you guys. Let me see. Oh, okay. A second thing this is going to be harsher, all right? I'm hoping to ease you guys into this a little bit. And these are things that I have asked myself, all right? There's nothing I'm saying to you that I have not asked myself. This is the harder thing to take. When you're asking yourself, what attracted me to the narcissist? You have to also ask yourself, were there some similar traits that I had with the narcissist that pulled us together, that bonded us together? Okay. Let me give you a couple of things. One is gossip. Was I a big gossip mill? Did I eat up gossip? And so when we got together, we loved to gossip together. This could be friendships too, right? Not necessarily always lovers. You could be drawn to other gossipers if you were a gossip. And of course, that invites in narcissists into your life. Narcissists love that, right? And it's not to say that you're the narcissist, but you don't have to be a narcissist to be a gossip, all right? So if that was part of your trait that kind of connected you or attracted you together with the narcissist, question that. Was it jealousy? Was it negativity? Was it criticalness? Did you sit around and pick apart other people? Did you, and I know this sounds so hard, and it's hard to face this about yourself as well, because if you saw yourself doing any of this and now you don't want to admit it, but you do, you don't have to admit it to anybody else, but at least admit it to yourself, because you have to admit it to yourself in order to fix it. If you don't admit it to yourself, you're not going to ever fix it. So think about that. Misery loves company. Were you miserable and they just jumped into that misery with you, and made it in a way, I guess, funny, because you're laughing at it together, maybe, or not laughing at the misery itself. You're laughing at other people. That's when it's not great. By the way, that's when it's a trait that you need to work on. All right, you guys. And then, now that we've got through that part, you also want to question, what was it that attracted me to the narcissist? Now, the reason I'm going through all of this is because what does your new normal look like? That you cannot go back to the way things were, because the way things were so broken. They were so messed up. Playing by the narcissist rules, that's messed up. Being like the narcissist, having the same traits as a narcissist, also messed up. You don't want to carry that forward. And lacking the things in you that drew you to the narcissist, like lacking confidence, lacking your character to build self-esteem, lacking your education, you feel like you're not as smart as you should be, or you feel dumb compared to other people. That ties into self-esteem as well, by the way. A lot of this ties into self-esteem, financial self-esteem, emotional self-esteem, educational, right, mental self-esteem. These are things, if you were lacking any of these things, you might have been drawn to the narcissist because they had these things, right? They had the self-esteem in those areas, and that draws you to them. So if you're able to identify that, you can change that. So you don't want to go back to that crazy, messed up, broken normal that you used to be in with the narcissist. That was so broken and messed up. So no, don't go back to that. Create a new normal where you're stronger, and you get stronger when you can recognize your what is it, your the part in you that was broken, the part in you that kept you with the narcissist, the part in you that drew you into the narcissist world. All right, you guys, so I think I hit a lot of those points there with you guys. You want to consider whether you were weak and codependent, right? Because you give them supply. Yes, that's why they latch onto you, but you're getting supply from them as well. So you need to identify, what was that supply that I was getting from them? So that was what I was lacking in my life. That then kind of opened the door, sadly enough, right? Opened the door for them to come in and wreak havoc in your life. Yeah. So you guys, let me go back and read some of your comments. I hope that this has been helpful. C. Thomas says, I actually feel like a different person after this narc abuse. Sometimes not sure who I am, but trying every day to find myself. Yes, they so disrupt you and your life that you lose your foundation. You lose the ground that you were walking on, right? But here's the good news. That ground that you were walking on, that foundation, probably wasn't as strong as it should have been. Okay? It probably was lacking some structure. So now you can rebuild that. You can sorry, you can start to grow that area. You can start to strengthen that area, right? And so finding yourself again, you're going to find an even better person. You're going to find like someone you never thought you would have been. You never knew you could have been as smart, right? Especially after you go through school. Holy cow, you get your degree, you're going to be so pumped up. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did I achieve this? This is so amazing. You're going to have great self-esteem. That is who you are. That is who you were meant to be. It's just that right now you're in a transitional point. Because the narcissist comes in, a relationship with the narcissist is so different than other ones, because other ones do not knock you down to your foundation. They just don't. They don't knock you down to your foundation. But being with a narcissist will knock you down to your foundation because you trusted fully. You gave the narc everything. If it was just I don't want to say just a friendship, but yeah, if you weren't married or lovers and you were friends with a narcissist who then betrays you, it does knock you down to your foundation because you trusted that person, right? With everything. You probably trusted them with a lot of very personal information about yourself and even personal things in your family. And now they are spilling it all over town, or they're just betraying you so badly with it. It knocks you down to your foundation. Other relationships don't do this. Other relationships are like, oh, we just, we got into a fight, an argument, we disagreed politically, maybe we disagreed about religion, we disagreed about raising kids, blah blah blah, and your friendship's over. It does not knock you down to your foundation. It just doesn't. Right? But being with a narcissist, because you trusted, because you gave your pretty much your identity over to this narcissist, in that you tied yourself to them, like you are who you are because they are who they are, and you don't find yourself separate from that narcissist. Okay, you've intertwined yourself so much with them. So when you come through a relationship with a narcissist, it is going to knock you down. Well, you guys, let me see some of your comments. Wildbird says, I know what you mean. It's a weird phenomenon. They steal your identity. Yeah. Tiff says, I get on with the, okay, the FM. Oh, I don't know what that means. Is that normal? Oh, flying monkeys now. Is that normal? No, but they just sit and watch, and we do sauna and gym talk. Yet we all know who we are. They dropped hints and called me stalker, but not now. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. You can get along with flying monkeys. You just have to watch what you ever say around them. Never give them information that you would not want back coming back to the narcissist. And you can keep your world separate and still get along. Yeah. There's, a lot of times, like I said, the flying monkeys are well intentioned, but they're only getting one side of the story. And maybe they're easily manipulated, which is why the narcissist really likes them. So they're not going to be on your side, but you can still be a person and do things around them and possibly even with them. And yeah, that is, I guess, their normal. That's not the normal you want to stay in, by the way. That's not going to be your friend group. That's not going to be your go-to go-to group. Sorry, guys. I got to drink some more of my tea. Crystal says, no one really gets it. Luckily, I met a friend at a separation and divorce meetup group who went through the same. Yes. Crystal's referring back to when I was saying how another reason why it's so traumatizing with the narcissist is because even your closest friends will not get it. They just don't get it. They don't understand until they go through it themselves. Or unless they walk through those trenches with you. They saw the bruises, for instance, they saw the cheating. They got involved with you, trying to help counsel you as a couple, or, and they saw the lying, they will not know. And they won't understand. So many people won't understand. And it's devastating because, it helps you when you feel believed, right? It helps you when there are witnesses who saw what you saw and can corroborate what you what you're saying, what you're doing now. And sadly, a lot of times there are no witnesses, and they're only fringe people who think they know the story, but no, they don't know the story. The flying monkeys do not know the story. They just hear one part of the story mainly. They might try to hear the second part of the story, but they walk in with skepticism towards you automatically because they've already heard the other side. They've already been convinced that you're going to say this and that, and then you say this and that, and they're like, oh, the narcissist warned me you were going to mention that. So it's so crazy and convoluted and messed up. Yeah. And that's why it's so traumatizing. See, Thomas says, all his family took his side. They think I'm overreacting, especially his mother, but they don't see his toxic pattern. They're blinded. He does this to all his exes and left them with children. There you go. They can even leave trails and nobody will believe it. They just think, oh, this person just happens to be the unluckiest person ever, But anyway, thank you for sharing that. So true. Tiff says, I don't trust anyone who has been tainted by the narc. I only give up general information, not personal stuff. Yeah, you're talking about their flying monkeys. Yeah, you have to be so careful. Your mutual friends, you don't know what the narc is saying to them. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, kind of fortunate, because let me tell you, the reason these people are friends with the narcissist still is they're lacking things inside of themselves as well. They're going through the same process that you are, in that they are attracted to toxic people for a toxic reason, right? For an unhealthy reason. And so it's not good that you continue to surround yourself with them. It's not good for you to make this your tribe, okay? It's better for you to find healthier people. And that's why sometimes I say, you know what? Reconnect with people from your past. Reconnect with people that you were getting along with before you met the narcissist and who fell off of your radar. Reconnect with them, because there might be a reason why you connected to begin with, and especially now, after multiple years of maturity, maturing, you guys may be in a good place in your life to build a friendship. Crystal says, my ex is telling everyone, including the mediators, that I refuse to communicate. Oh, yeah. It's so frustrating because he's trying to make it look like I'm being immature or spiteful, but I'm attempting no contest. Wait, contact. I'm sorry. I'm attempting no contact. Yeah, there's communication and then there's over communication, right? With the narcissist, you communicate as minimally as you have to, and then you you're right, you don't want to go into contact because you don't want to be manipulated, and that frustrates them because they want to be able to manipulate you. They want to spend that time and energy and have the discussions in order to try to pull you back into their craziness. And when you go no contact, that it doesn't allow them to do that. Yeah. Ash says, Crystal Jean, that's what they do. My narcissist husband has brainwashed every family member on both sides that I'm crazy. Yeah. So sorry to hear that, Ash, and I'm glad you're here. Crystal says, people who aren't super close to us can't believe he could be capable of all this, right? He came off as Mr. Wonderful, helpful, friendly, and I was anxious and reclusive. Not much I can do about it. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it's this healing time, this what was lacking inside of us, we questioned that drew me to this narcissist. This is a really good time to build that up. you know yeah, it's a really good time for you to build up that part that attracted you to the narcissist. Become what you were attracted to. If it was helpfulness, if it was being outgoing, become what you were attracted to, because you need to fulfill that for yourself, so you don't connect onto somebody or connect with somebody who is not healthy for you, who happens to have those characteristics. Tiff says, Crystal, your ex is actually making you out to be the narcissist. Honest, they will actually call you one. Yeah, and that does happen. That's part of their projection. Dangerous conversations. Good to see you. So glad you made it. Crystal says, it's been a while, by the way, dangerous conversations. Crystal says, Ash M, I hear you and I'm sorry. We have to stick to what we know is true. Eventually the truth will come out, or the drama will die down and they won't care anymore. Wise words, Crystal. I'm so glad you're here. Yes. Tiff says, family court is their way of keeping you in their lives. Oh. And it only lasts, right now it seems forever, but once the kids are grown, that connection ends. I know there'll be new, different types of connections like grandkids and stuff like that. But like Crystal Jean was saying, the drama will die out. It will fade because there will be so much other drama that the narcissist will be, I don't know, thrown into. It's insane. Tiff says, them staying in your life. Yeah. Holographic, good to see you. Says, my life motto, not nice, not kind, not in my life. I don't care what your reasons or diagnosis. That's good. You know what? I would have to agree with that. Life is too short. Life is too short to be encumbered by toxic, angry, mean, awful people. You want to help them. If people are asking for help, that's great. I'm happy to help. But no, you don't need to make that a huge part of your life. You don't need to carry that every day into your life. Victoria says, I wonder sometimes though if I was the problem. He married the woman he cheated on me with, and then they seem happy. I know I shouldn't have Facebook lurked, but maybe I really messed everything up. And Victoria, here's the thing. I've seen so many breakups. I've seen so many divorces in the last, I think 10 years, 5 to 10 years. And it always looks like they're moving on and they do great and they're happy. But let me tell you, every relationship has its problems, even healthy ones, okay? But ones with a narcissist and ones where and this is what will help you, by the way, Victoria, is write down the crazy stuff that he used to do with you. I mean, I'm talking about stuff that was unprovoked, okay? That you did not, this is what he was. This is how he behaved. This is how he would enter a room, right? At the end of the day or in the morning or whatever. Write down the stuff that he did that just was so bad, so negative for your relationship. Now, recognize that that is still happening because you don't have to be there for him to keep doing those things. And yeah. See, Thomas says, I actually block all contact from his family from social media and don't contact them. Yeah, you know what? And sometimes, I want to say a lot of times, if not, yeah, probably almost all the time, you have to do that. Jihad says, RB, I know how you feel. I'm going through the same thing. Court gets extended because of her, and I have to hear her voice on Skype calls. I just walk around the house cleaning dishes or laundry. Ah, those are good ideas. Thank you for sharing that, Jihad. I appreciate that. Tiff says, oh, she's just saying hi to each other. Good for you guys. Crystal says, I had mediation on Tuesday. Had to iron out details on the separation agreement. I haven't seen him or heard his voice since February. Wow. It upset me more than I thought it would, hearing his voice. Oh, yeah, it does. You know, sound, smell, sight bring in a lot of memories. Touch, I would assume as well. But we don't usually have to deal with that part. But you think if I don't have to look at it, then it'll disappear from me. But yeah, sound and smell evoke a lot of memories and emotions. So I can understand. Yeah, it'll get better. It will get better. Jihad says, so that I don't have to hear her voice, she only calls to try and annoy me because the kids don't even talk to her. 10 minutes wasted every day. Wow. Kathy, oh, good to see you. Should I send a gift to the Narc's daughter for her birthday? Oh my gosh. Well, you know, you could if you want. Your relationship with the Narc's daughter. You certainly can do that. Just don't write anything other than happy birthday. Hope you're, you know, just keep it very simple and thinking about you. Hope you're, you know what, I don't know how old she is, but yeah, I don't see any problem with that. But be careful not to be trying to pull him back into your life. That cannot be your motive, okay? Just make sure that's not the case. Tiff, let me see. Oh, saying hi to Crystal. Holographic says, for those of you dealing with courts and custody, it's easy when you think you are just dealing with a protocol, not a personal vendetta. Focus on the laws and the courts. Thank you, Holographic. That's very good advice. Okay, Holographic says, Kathy, I would not, because everything you do or say will be used against you. Okay. Oh, that's a good point, too. That's a good point. You're right. You know, when kids are involved, you just feel so bad. And that's, you know, my thinking is keep that separate. But if it's his daughter and you have no connection with her, now, of course, you not sending stuff, they will also use that and say, see, she never cared about you. And even if you did send stuff, you, Holographic is right. They will still use that in some way against you. Hopefully, if it's not a divorce that you're going through and it's just, you know, you were boyfriend, girlfriend, and you broke up, you probably won't have as much in court. You may not be having to deal with court. Yeah. Whatever you do with a narcissist and around a narcissist is going to be hard. Even if you do send a gift, it's possible the narcissist will intercept that and not give it to his daughter. So that's another possibility. It's up to you. You know, in this life, I just think I can understand why you might want to cut off all contact and not do anything. But then you feel bad because you had a relationship with the child, right? Yeah. So it depends on that. Crystal, if the child was really young and doesn't know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Teen years, this is probably not a good time for you to interject yourself into their life anyway, or stay connected in their life. It's very hard. And sad thing is, you don't have the parental rights anyway. So you don't have that relationship with the child. Crystal says, Victoria, that's the self-doubt and cognitive dissonance. That's the tough stuff. I deal with that too. We all do. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed something that Victoria. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, wondering if she had messed it up and that the new supply is doing so well with the narcissist that, you're the one. That's the self-doubt Crystal's talking about. We all do deal with that. Well, you guys, so Jean, I feel you. Mediation sucks. Aw. Well, you guys, our time is up. I did start 10 minutes early, so I let it go 10 minutes past so that we can continue our conversation. Oh, Alex says, Kathy, absolutely not. So don't send a gift. So, all right, you guys, there it is. My heart is, yeah, go ahead and send a gift. Who cares? But not that who cares, but it could be a kind gesture coming from you, but I can see where the viewers are going. And thank you, Alex, for speaking up. Do not send a gift. You have to disconnect completely from the narcissist, including with their children and anybody else, their family, their parents. You cannot carry on a relationship with them, their relatives, including their children, when you are no longer in a relationship with the narcissist. You're right. You guys are right. I should have taken that back. So sorry about that. RB says, Jihad, how do you cope with the contact when the kids are with the narc? I am dreading this happening. I don't understand why they could not be nice. I just wanted a happy family life. Yeah. Yeah. C. Thomas says, Crystal, the cognitive dissonance can hold us back, but it gets better when we start working on ourselves, and it takes time. Oh my. Yeah, you guys, just reading through the comments. Victoria says, Crystal Jean, yeah, you're right. Logically, I know I'm better off away from him and that he's damaged. My mom visited us a couple times and felt he was damaged. She's a clinical psychologist. There you go. Victoria says, I also know I think she meant to say not perfect, but I tried. Yep. Yeah, he wasn't perfect. Yeah. Holographic, you're right. Don't interact with the narcissist through the narcissist child sending her a gift or anything like that. You guys are right. It's just my heart to go, well, these are separate relationships, but you're right. If this is the narcissist child, it's not your child. They have custody over the child. They have the connection legally and everything. It's best for you to just cut all ties. Oh yeah, they will check up on you guys. So I am. Oh, dangerous conversation says cash is concealment to the covert narc. Not quite sure what that means. Well, you guys, I thank you so much for being on here. Blessings to you. I'm sorry that I was going crazy at the beginning, not being ready and having hit play already, but I'm glad you made it, and I'm glad that we got to go through this whole list. We understand that what's normal, what we thought was normal really wasn't, right? It was absolute crazy town, and you don't want to go back to that. You don't want to go back to what you thought was normal, because it was you being manipulated, all right? And you tolerating the insanity. That's not a good normal, all right? So the new normal for you is good. It is within your control. You get to decide. You get to go back and fix the things inside of you that attracted you to the narcissist to begin with, right? The things that were lacking, maybe. Get stronger, build yourself up, reward yourself, pamper yourself, and treat yourself the way that you would want to treat someone you love. All right. So blessings to you guys, and I will talk to you next week.